the rise in global temperature is to be capped at 1.5 degrees Celsius, carbon dioxide emissions must be cut right now, according to the authors of the latest report from the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Our climate editor, Justin Rowlatt, has more details.
What the UN has published today is a roadmap for saving the world from the worst of climate change. But it comes with a massive warning. It is now or never. There can be no more broken promises on climate, says the UN.
Some government and business leaders are saying one thing but doing another. Simply put, they are lying. And the results will be catastrophic.
But there is some good news in today's report, so let's start there. The cost of renewable technologies, wind turbines, solar panels, batteries have been falling far quicker than anyone expected. As a result, the world is rapidly building solar and wind plants. In fact, last year, 10% of global electricity was generated from renewables, according to a report last week. But, says the UN, harnessing the power of the sun and the wind will not be enough. The report details how we'll also need to change the way we get around, what we eat, how efficient our homes and businesses are, how we farm, how we produce the goods we buy, how we move those goods around, and how we protect the natural world. In short, pretty much everything has to change because pretty much everything we do produces carbon dioxide. It is possible, says today's report, but time is almost out. We've got to peak carbon emissions before 2025, says the UN, and then cut them back by at least 43% by the end of 2030. And then we need to take them all the way down to net zero by 2050. It is a tall order, especially given that emissions are currently going up, not down.
What needs to happen is that we need to use all the available tools we have in terms of policies, technologies, and we need to start to use them immediately. If that happens, then it is still possible, just possible, to limit warming to 1.5 degrees.
But we'll also need to develop technologies to take carbon out of the atmosphere to balance out those emissions we can't eradicate. Trees are one way, but we'll need high-tech solutions too, and they have yet to be proved at scale. Now, making all these changes will cost money, but it will also deliver huge benefits, says the UN.
Your life will probably get better. That is one of the key results, because there are many co-benefits with these measures that are needed. Better air quality, better health, more active lifestyles, healthier food systems.
The authors of today's report are very clear. They say the fossil fuel era has to end, and end very soon. That conclusion, indeed all the conclusions in this report, have been approved by all the governments of the world. So the big question now is, will they enable the radical action today's report demands?
Well, let's pick up on some of those points because Justin's with me. Some people might think, hang on, is this report a warning or is it actually a form of encouragement? Which is it?
That's a very good question. It's a combination of both. It is a warning. They're saying it's now or never. We really have to do this now. And I think the UN feels really frustrated. Like you, it says, you know, we've warned you again and again. We've warned the governments of the world, the people of the world, that this is a real problem they need to tackle, and still not enough action is happening. And I think in a sense what they're doing is they're grabbing the world by the lapels and saying, don't you understand? We've got to do this now. So I think it's a really urgent call to action, but they're also saying, look, here's a roadmap. Here's a menu, a recipe, if you like, of what we need to do to stay within 1.5 degrees, the really kind of the threshold after which the climate change would be really damaging. And they're saying, look, it can be done, but please start now, get started, because if we're going to do it, we really do have to begin right now.
Justin, many thanks again. Justin Rowlatt, their climate editor.